What do you do for the Australian market?
As you can see here, these are two vehicles that we're actually doing for the Australian market. There's the Isuzu D-Max and the Chevrolet Captiva. Both vehicles sponsored by Suncorp as the sponsor for the Thatcham Research product. They sponsor the vehicle, the parts and the effort to create methods of these. They send vehicles across from Australia, parts and manufacturer data and information about how those vehicles are constructed. We take them apart and we develop methods for use in the Australian market to inform the repairer basically how to do it in the most effective and most efficient way. So the basis of our research starts with the manufacturer information and we look to see how the vehicle is built and constructed and what the joining technology is for in repair. Well, what we often find, specifically with some of the Australian models, the older Australian models, is that we haven't got actual repair methods. What we've got is a build instruction that tells you how to put the car together as if it were being assembled, rather than how to rejoin it if it's been in an accident and requires repair. Guys are taking the vehicle apart, they're defining the methodology by which to take parts off and put them back on or repair, etc. And as they do it, they're collecting imagery and they're creating a time source, and they're putting in effectively what we call a strip route. What do you have to take off to get to the damage that you want to repair, and in what order is the most efficient way of getting to that area? And any key points of information, anything that's safety critical, where are the fixings, what are the torques, all of this critical information that a repairer needs at their hand into a document that's nice and viewable either on an iPad or printed off. And the guys can actually physically preview that method as they create it, so they can work out if they've missed any steps out or do anything like that. And then once they're happy with that method, they can authorise it and it can move on, and then move on to the next part of the vehicle. And they basically go around the vehicle doing that for each of the panels on the outside, and then moving into the more structural panels on the inside, using the skills of a panel engineer to start to define where the section points can be, what the joining technology should be underneath. And if they link one of the previous methods to it, they link it as kind of a referred to. So if we're doing a chassis leg, it will refer to the bumper cover, and then the repairer has the choice. I know how to take that bumper off, I don't need to read another bloody method, or I need that, click the refer to, and it pulls out the method that these guys have authorised.
Okay, so do you take photographs of each step and then your program changes it into the Thatcham orangey stuff?
We have to set a separate format for each photo, and then that goes into Plaza, and we add clips and screws and any fixings and fittings to that, so that it fits in the right order of disassembly.
So does it take a long time?
No, from photo to going into Plaza it can be a few seconds, depending on the amount of fixings, or it can be a couple of minutes, really, depending if there's any retouching to do or backgrounds to take out, if we think it's necessary to take out backgrounds.
And what do you say to the let's call them criticisms of repairers that the times aren't generous enough? Is it just that you're really, really good at what you do?
Well, Thatcham's been doing it a long time, so I think we've built up so many years of experience, and that's built into the system really, by the way that it's templated across from similar vehicles. So we're pretty confident the times are pretty accurate.
And the times that we provide are guidance anyway.
Yeah.
They're times drawn from a database that says we have a database of all the sorts of different clips and fixings, nuts and bolts and washers, and we count them up and we say, well, if you've got to take 3 bolts out, it takes this long to take 3 bolts out. There's all sorts of DV times in there that allow you time for preparation and everything else, but at the end of the day, it's a guidance time on which to base your repair estimate. It's not definitive that that's it. Every car's slightly different, every accident's slightly different. The amount of time you're going to spend getting certain parts off is going to be different to other parts. What we do have is reality time of taking a part off of a vehicle and putting it back onto a vehicle based on actually physically doing it here.
Just basically removing the side panel to work out a method, usually no manufacturer's methods or anything, so just sort of slowly picking away at it, really.
So there's a situation where we've got the vehicle, we've got the manufacturer information, but the manufacturer information is not defined. The methodology for what is a significantly and vulnerable panel on the vehicle. So our engineers here actually physically take it apart, find the most effective way of repairing it, and create a method that isn't available anywhere else.
The rear panel one is quite a good one because I'm going to have to come up with 4 different types. So I have a repair section, which will be a middle piece, and then I have a left-hand one for if you're replacing this corner body side, because you can't get the rear panel in the body side.
This is how the Isuzu actually supply the body side only, yeah?
Yeah.
So you don't get any outer panels, you just get the whole side in its entirety. And if you were to fit that to the body of the Isuzu, it's massively intrusive to the vehicle, very costly in labour and parts. So what Andy's doing is sectioning the parts out to find out what's behind it. Yeah, so you've got structural panels, reinforcers that are there, and it's just defining where the best cut lines are to replace, say, a sill panel, which would be a very cost-effective way of repairing the vehicle, and that will come out into the methods and then go on to sample.